everybody little tapping with the pop with Tigmatic.
Y'all tune into a pop podcast. And guess what? There's an episode of me on
and you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
And with the Pot Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down.
To follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
Foolish made this fool. Know that.
I think they mad and I'm on them niggas know I'm the shit. I'm Mr. I'm at it, I keep that ratchet to spit. I'm putting pressure all on them, trying to advance to the chip. Get in the way of my dreams, Bodie, I let off the stick. It ain't no stopping me. They hating on my moves, which mean they watching me. Trying to do just what I do, but moving sloppily. I'ma be on top and I predict it like a prophecy. I live that high life forever. They mad, I'm on and I know they hate, but I remember nights that I barely ate. Sleeping in the basement on the waterbed with no box springs, just doors on crates. Was a skinny nigga with an attitude, living life with no gratitude. Was robbing niggas for my next meal, cause I was scared broke and I ain't had food. Had a nigga like fuck school, went to juvie where a nigga learned to move. Ski tossed me that crack and told me to trap. I bought me my first tool, fucked the money up, my mom paid it back. My pockets back on flat cause I ain't know the rules. And now nigga older and I know the rules. I'm getting money with a lean and a shoulder grooves. And when they counted me out, them real niggas gon' count me in. Man, they threw me in the water thinking I would drown, but with the sharks I swim. Man, I'm back on my feet and I'm back to the street. Niggas wish they had a spark like him. I think they mad and I'm on, cause niggas know I'ma win. I think they mad and I'm on, them niggas know I'm the shit. I'm Mr. I'm at it, I keep that ratchet to spit. I'm putting pressure all on them, trying to advance to the chip. Get in the way of my dreams, Bodie, I let off the stick. It ain't no stopping me. They hating on my moves, which mean they watching me. Tryna do just what I do, but moving sloppily. I'ma be on top and I predict it like a prophecy. I live that high life forever. I was sitting back and that was my time. Now they sit and watch how I shine. Gotta move fast and got no time for the slow grind. This flow here be a gold mine. Showing out when it's go time. There first like the front line. Philly nigga 10 toes down for the money on. Y'all want mine. Always putting that groundwork. Lied out like a sound burst. Started off with a pound first. Niggas moving that brown dirt. Beef I eat, leave your man's murk. Beat a nigga till my hands hurt. Started off with a plan, nigga. Just see if that plan work. And now working, y'all niggas mad, I can see the look on y'all faces. Hating on me got you moving fast, so I guess it's time I get flagrant. If I'm on go and I'm getting low, homie, you don't wanna see the gay spit. Not bad for an OG, that really started from the base. They mad and I'm on, them niggas know I'm the shit. I'm Tigmatic, I'm at it, I keep that ratchet to spit. I'm putting pressure all on them, trying to advance to the chip. Get in the way of my dreams, Bodie, I let off the stick. It ain't no stopping me. They hating on my moves, which mean they watching me. Tryna do just what I do, but moving sloppily. I'ma be on top and I predict it like a prophecy. I live that high like forever I'm lit. Forever I'm lit. Forever I'm lit. I live that high like forever I'm lit. Forever I'm lit. Forever I'm lit. I live that high like forever I'm lit.
Say it louder. Say it louder.
When he was in the streets of Philly, playgrounds, he was like, you know what they call him?
What?
Black Jesus.
American hustler. Tone Trump. West Philly to the world. Let's win. Bunch of shooters with no aim. They just happy to be spraying. They praying that I fell. I'm just happy that they praying. Had a convo with my son. He only 3, but he's so smart. Told him only fear law and stay away from all these marks. Walking through the vibe, I got Versace on. They ain't really one, see the Aki on. I trust the cutter, stay away from suckers. If it ain't the Trumps, it's the forces or the butters. 10 toes down, I'm hustling like you should be. Rich Muslim, know the feds won't book me. In the Sprinter talking money with my ox. They tryin' by the bar, I'm tryin' by the block. Real estate, feel the hate. Before the deal, I've been a great. I'm still a great, you still hating. Penthouse suite, OJ and turkey bacon. And I need the grits with the cheese in it. Big boy rollie with the freeze in it. Weird niggas always trying to talk that rap shit. Me and Low in the back talking trap shit.
West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. That's where I spend most of my days. The summers is hot, the winters is cold. Welcome to my ghetto. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. That's where I spend most of my days. The summers is hot, the winters is cold. Welcome to my ghetto.
Mother shit. They kill at will. Fresh Prince of the ghetto, man, I feel like Will. Nitty home, she home, now we just need kill. Inshallah, make dua for the appeal. This ain't a rap song, this is real life. This ain't that rapper jewelry, baby, this is real ice. VVS's, look at the clarity. I'm a Muslim dying, look how they stare at me. Another sock drive, that's for charity. I'm the greatest, stop comparing me.
Say a prayer for my Akis in themselves. May Allah have mercy and keep us under him. Say a prayer for my Akis in themselves. May Allah have mercy and keep us under him. Say a prayer for my Akis in themselves. May Allah have mercy and keep us under him. Say a prayer for my Akis in themselves. May Allah have mercy and keep us under him. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. That's where I spend most of my days. The summers is hot, the winters is cold. Welcome to my ghetto. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. That's where I spend most of my days. The summers is hot, the winters is cold. Welcome to my ghetto.
Yo, what's up, y'all? You're now tuned into another episode of the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic. Hey, we here. It's Monday. Get over the hump. That's Wednesday. Wait, what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I mean, though. Hey, man, we here. And as always, this episode is brought to you by Collywood TV, Collywood Radio, Dollar Radio, Going In Radio, 105.7 The Phase. Hey, listen, if you ain't got the Phase app, what you doing? It's big worldwide. Go download the app where you can find the Pot Podcast at. We moving and booming. We here, y'all. DemoniBrand.com and also NorshayDemoreBoutique.com. Hey, listen, I'm feeling great on this Monday. I feel good. I got some family here with me tonight. Listen, she is a poet and a author and a artist, and she's a ball of fun to talk to. She's written over 15 books of poetry and short stories, over 150 abstract paintings, which she calls it abstract. She is the co-host of Big Woo Radio twice a week. She does her own Facebook Live show, Thoughts Provoked, every Sunday, and has an interview series called In the Art Room with Nima. So, without further ado, I give you my cuz, my fam, Nima Shining Nima Shining Star L. Let me get it right, y'all. My bad. I had to get it right. That's fam. If I'm gonna say a name, I gotta say it right. All right.
What up? Hey, y'all. What up, though? What up, cuz? What's good?
What's up, cuz? Welcome back. This is a Pop Podcast alumni here, y'all. Welcome back.
Fire. The music is fire. Jeez.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Listen, folks, for those that never heard those tunes, that was me. Forever I'm Lit. That's my new single produced by Foolish Made This, aka Foolish Sounds 41. And also West Philly's own Tone Trump, G Unit Philly. That's my guy. Y'all seen his episode. So his video was playing. Y'all know what it is. So for those that don't know, even though I gave you an intro, I like to let my guests have the floor and give themselves a formal rundown and tell the audience who they are like only they can. So the floor is yours, Queen.
Okay, thank you. Like he said, my name is Nima Shining Star L. I am truly, truly happy to be here. I am a poet, author of, I just put out my 17th book, Yes. Poetry, short stories. I'm a co-author, former, because we are still in hiatus, former co-host of Big Woo Radio. You can still check that out. It's fire, definitely fire. I'm an artist. I have over 100, as you said, 150 paintings, which I call abstract. So what I did was I took the N off of Nima, combined it with abstract back in 2013 and created an abstract. And it's just crazy ideas, thoughts, colors, and emotions on canvas. And voila, it's lit. It's like that. So I've had a couple of shows. I'm also a playwright. I wrote a play back in 2000 and maybe 15, 16, and it's called Every Smiling Face is Not a Smiling Face. And it's definitely something that people think about every day today. So it's like, listen, you don't know if you are the straw that may break the camel's back. You don't know if you're that person's one last time or one last thing that somebody needs to hear. So you have to treat it that way. You know what I mean? Everybody don't need to hear your issues and your problems when they're walking down the street, because you never know what somebody else is dealing with. But at the same time, they could have a smile on your face and be ready to cut your throat. So you never really know. You know what I mean? Like I said, every smiling face is not a smiling face, but it deals with mental health issues as well. So there's a lot going on. You can also catch me on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel, Nimagirlproductions. PSAs, children's stories, puppets, all kinds of things. I have about 7 people living up here, and they all have to say something. If not, they may fight. So right now, we fight. I mean, that's how we do. That's how we do. Also, you could go on what? You could go on Instagram. I have a show called In the Art Room with Nima. Every morning, I'm doing inspirational, upbeat posts called My Daily Dose, and that's usually every single day on Instagram. Little 5-10 minute spill of what's going on in the world, how I'm feeling, asking you what you're feeling, and things like that. Very interactive. So I'm all over.
Well, we're happy to have you here. We're going to give a round of applause for you being here today.
Thank you for having me. This is an honor.
Thank you for coming. You know, it's been a while since I seen you, so it's good to see you, cuz.
Same here.
We talk all the time, but seeing you is a different thing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it. All right. So for those that didn't see you the first time, first of all, growing up in Philly, when did you first realize your mind worked differently from others around you?
Honestly speaking, when I was in the 4th grade, and I'm gonna tell y'all now I'm 55, so that was a ways back. Okay, I was in the 4th grade, and I actually wrote a children's short story. Now, mind you, in 4th grade and growing up in my immediate circle, I had no idea. I've never been to a mall. Okay, actually, I had never been to a mall in the 4th grade, but I wrote a story because I saw a mall on TV, and I wrote a story about a child getting lost in the mall. And then I wrote a song in the 4th grade. Now, in 4th grade, you're like 10, 11, maybe 12, but 10, 11. I wrote a song called I'll Get Revenge on You. Don't know why. And to this day, I remember the hook. And my sisters, sometimes they tease me about it. They're like, yo, you wrote that song in 4th grade. How do you still remember the hook? Because I wrote it. That's why. It's like the Tina Turner movie with Angela Bassett. I remember the words like I wrote it. So,
right.
But the hook is literally, you don't know how hard I've tried to love you, but you broke my heart in 2. I'll get revenge on you. In 4th grade, yo. So
wow, that's some heavy stuff at 4th grade.
Exactly. I think somebody didn't write me a love note back or something, and I got mad because they liked somebody else. So that was my song. So I knew then that I had something else going on up here, but I was like, whoa, I better channel it in the right way. Otherwise, I may be somewhere else. And lastly, which is not a problem, because if you pick up any of my books, you'll know everything you need to know about me. But I literally, you know how some children have a invisible playmate, but usually that playmate disappears at about 6, 7. I had mine till I was about 12.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Listen,
I was about 12.
Listen, that means you wasn't ready to grow in that area yet. You still wanted to be a kid. You was still a kid at heart at 12, even though you was turning into, a teenager.
Yeah,
that's a normal thing. That's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have no problems with it now. But back then, maybe a couple years back, I wasn't really talking about it. But now it's all good. So so I knew. I'm like, I better start writing things down.
Oh, that's cool. So, how would you say people misunderstanding you affect your mental health early on?
You know what? I actually played by myself quite a bit because of that behavior, But at the same time, even though I had the invisible playmate, and even though I got into trouble, I didn't get into a lot of trouble. But people misunderstood me because I rather had been by myself back then, and that was it. Like I enjoyed, and I still do to this day, actually. I enjoyed like playing by myself, playing in the dirt, making mud pies by myself, making clubhouses by myself. And it was always, like, you better watch her, she might not be, keep your eyes on her. And I turned out just fine. But I also had a very sentimental, emotional attachment to the earth. I loved staying out in the snow longer than anybody. I loved like collecting. We used to call them, I didn't know they were called fireflies. Okay. We used to call them lightning bugs, but they were called fireflies.
Yeah, we call them lightning bugs back home.
Right. In Philly, it was lightning bugs. So, capturing these things, but then realizing like, we're catching these things and we're putting them in a jar. Nah, I'm letting them go. So I lost a lot of friends, letting the lightning bugs go because it was a contest, to see who could catch the most. But I also was the same person that would find a dead animal and I would literally by myself have a funeral for this dead animal. Like I literally saw a dead cat one time on the side of my grandmother's building and dug a hole and kicked the cat in. I knew not to touch it, but kicked the cat in it, covered it with dirt and leaves, and wrote on a cardboard box and gave the cat a name. And my family was like, okay, she's crazy. She's weird. Y'all better do something.
No, that's not crazy. That's having a heart.
So I don't know. So that's,
that's channeling energy in a great way,
That's, I didn't know it.
God's animal.
I just figured I was
God's animal a funeral.
Now I think about it, but I was like, back then they were just like something is not, I don't know. Just stay over there. We're not going to talk about it. Just, and I lost some friends, but you know what? Obviously they weren't meant to take this ride with me. So.
Absolutely. All right. It's cool that you even told that story because, some people wouldn't even share something like that. And to share something like that is dope within itself because it shows a side of you that shows your vulnerable side in the heart. You cared for the animal so much that you gave it a funeral. And I think that's dope.
Thank you. What I'm saying? Thank you.
I think that's dope.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Listen, now I do. Back then I was just like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I'm glad I did, Oscar, that's the name I gave him.
Oscar. Was supposed to be. You did what was supposed to be done. So that's dope.
Thank you.
So let's talk about some of your art.
Okay.
Tell people when you decided to get into art, making abstract art.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna bounce around. I'm not gonna stay mental health straight from the beginning. I'm gonna bounce around. So you might get an art question, you might get a mental health question.
I'm good. I'm good with it. So honestly, I think I have to take you back a little bit. So again, 4th, 5th grade, I used to have a lot of composition. That's funny. I have composition notebooks now, but I used to have a lot of composition notebooks. And because I wasn't one of the popular kids, I should say, in school, I used to, I didn't know how to draw, and I still don't. I didn't know how to draw like superheroes and people and all of that. Like my thing just went to like stick people. That was it. But I had a thing about maze, drawing a maze and spider webs and things like that. So I had I wish I kept that. I had a whole notebook, composition notebook full of coloring. And I used to really like press down really hard on my crayons. So it was like you could feel the smoothness of you ever press down really hard with a crayon and color, and you could feel the texture of the crayon. So I would do that. And I had a whole book. And, I showed my teacher one day. He was just like, this is incredible. What is this? And I was like, I don't know. I started with a maze and then it turned into spider webs, but it was different shapes and sizes on everything. So I think that started out in like 5th grade, but I left it alone because as you're getting older, as they say, real life kicks in, right? Life be lifing. That's the thing now. So as I'm getting older, things take place and I leave it alone. So like in 2013, I think back like, man, I used to color, I used to draw, I used to like to paint. And I kept saying, why don't I do that anymore? And one day I just sat down and I was just like, you know what? And I just started painting. And then I realized that my paintings started taking on a life of their own because I noticed whatever my emotion was that day or however I was feeling, the expression would come out on the canvas. even in color. So if I was pissed off, if I was angry, if I was mad, if I just had some rough stuff going on up here, I literally would use a lot of black, a lot of red, a lot of purple, a lot of dark colors, a lot of blending of dark colors. And then when I was happy or, excited, you would get your yellows and your oranges and so forth. So it just took on a life of its own. But here's the thing I tell people, when you have a passion for something, it's like, it's hard to stop. I don't want to use this terminology, but I will, because I know a lot of people won't understand. It's like alcohol or a drug. It's like, if you're not careful and you get into something, sometimes it gets out of control. Sometimes you can't handle it. Sometimes it gets away from you. And that's what happened with my painting, even my writing. I start painting and I would find myself up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, like, yo, I got to go to bed, like forcing myself to put down the paintbrushes.
It became addictive.
Yeah. And every time I had an art show, I was blessed to have a few art shows. And every time I had an art show, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do anything else until I sell half of these paintings. And it just kept going and going and going. I couldn't stop. So yeah, so that's how that goes. But I've been fortunate to have some art shows and sell some paintings, so I can actually say that my paintings are in people's offices and a couple of churches and daycares and in people's homes. And I always say, I don't do duplicates and I don't make copies. Whatever you get that. That's it. There's no, nobody is ever going to have, you'll never see that painting somewhere else or in somebody else's house. It's not going to happen. So
it's always a one-on-one when you're dealing with Nima. Remember.
Bang.
Oh, that's what's up. That's definitely what's up. All right, so because of that, we're gonna give a little boom on that.
Okay.
One-on-one, you know what I mean? It's always good to be one-on-one.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you protect your individuality in a world that often pressures people to conform?
Oh, honestly, I don't conform. People that know me, they're like, you know what? She is who she is. She's going to be who she's going to be. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I say it with love and respect and appreciation. You know what I mean? Love me. I forgot who said it. Love me or leave me alone. Like me or leave me alone. I am who I am. I can only be me. But here's the weird thing about that. I have in the past attempted to conform to, certain situations, but it just doesn't happen. See, and that's the thing. You can try, but you have to be yourself. You have to be yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. There have been times where I've bowed down because sometimes my mouth is a little vulgar and a little extra. So I know when to dial it down a little bit. And I think we all do that for certain situations. Unless you are who you are, but I don't think there's anybody that I know of that actually can say they have sat in any and every circle and never changed their tone, their delivery, their whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, I used to come home from work. I've worked a lot of different jobs, but I used to work on a hotline many years ago, domestic violence hotline and things like that. And when I came home, I still had my office voice on. And I would talk to my family with the office lingo and then the office voice, and they would just stop and be like,
that professional voice.
You're not at work, okay? You're home. You calm down. We don't even know what you're. Calm down. So I think we all, depending on the situation, will conform or adjust or adapt. But for the most part, I am who I am. I'm going to speak my mind. I've been taught a long time ago, if you don't have something good to say, don't say anything. So if my mouth is closed, it's a problem.
Right. I think that's dope that you didn't conform, and being able to say what you need to say is always a good thing, and that means you had a lot of love around you to help you hone that so that you can say what you need to say. And that's always a blessing. You know what I'm saying? That's always a blessing. So let's get into the next question. All right. Before we even get into the next question, tell the people a little bit about where you from. Tell them what side of Philadelphia you from.
Phila. No, I'm kidding. I like to say I'm from North Philadelphia, by way of South Philadelphia, by way of South Philly, by way of West Philadelphia.
She said she from the Biddy, y'all. Y'all heard that by way of South Philly 2 times. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So we want to send a shout out. Shout out to 22nd and Vernon. Shout out to 22nd and Reed. You know what I mean? Shout out.
22nd and Reed.
Yes. Shout it out. Shout out to Mountain Street. Okay, I'm just
shout out to Mountain Street. I lived off 18th in Morris, so Mountain Street was right on Washington. I lived on Washington Street, so Mountain Street right around the corner.
Wow, man.
Yeah, I'm South Philly all day to the death of me. It's tanning on my hands. I can't let it go.
man, oh man. Shout out to all of it. And then it's no longer there, but shout out to Bartram Village. It's no longer there.
Shout out to Bartram Village.
They done memories. But anyway.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. That's definitely dope. All right. So here's my next question. All right. How do you stay grounded when your mind is constantly creating and expanding?
You know what? I actually have a good circle, a good team, my management team. Shout out to Brother Born Free, the real Born Free. The management team keeps me grounded because I can be off the rocker. Like for instance, once I put out a book, before it's even out a week, I'm already like, yo, I got the next book. It's already written. Let's go. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to catch this bus. We're going down south. We're going to do and I'm just like, yo, if they can do it, I can do it. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. It's like, whoa. Let's be realistic. Take a deep breath. Calm down. You can't do everything at once. Remember what you have going on right now. Remember what's on, in front of you. Slow it down. Take a deep breath because it's not a marathon. This is not a race. Pace yourself. You know what I mean? Because one thing you don't want to do is just put out stuff to put out stuff. When you put out something, you want it to mean something. You want it to say
some substance and some meaning. Absolutely.
And so I think that right there is definitely how I keep, I stay grounded. And then, having my family, having my children and my grand around me, and it's like, what are you doing now? Wait a minute. I thought you were doing this. Okay, which one are you doing? Are you doing this or are you doing that? You can't do both. Just hold on. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. And then again, real life thrown in there, you're like, oh, wait a minute, you don't want to crash and burn. So
that's right. You don't want to burn out.
Yeah, you think about that. Like, okay, let's keep it real. Let's pace it and let's do what we have to do. And that's pretty much it.
Oh man, that's definitely popping.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person, if you let me go, I'm just like, let's go. And then I'm like, oh, okay, you're right. Let's take it back. Let's slow down. Let's, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely fire. That's what's up. Because having that family keeping you grounded actually helps you to create better. Yeah. I agree with that 1000% because for me, it's the same. Mm-hmm. The wife and kids help me create, and then they give me that space to create. I'm doing so much right now. I'm directing films and the TV show and all of that right now, but it's the love of them though, and giving me that space that makes it easier to create. So I can relate to what you're saying 1,000%.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely important to have that, So shout out to the missus. Shout out to you, baby, if you watching.
Hey, cuz.
Matter of fact, You gotta get the gong for that, baby.
Right, it's nothing
All
like
right.
a good wife or a good husband. It's nothing about that. Nothing like a partner that supports you and understands.
That's right. And we heard this mantra our whole life: happy wife, happy life, but it's actually happy spouse, happy house. Because it's supposed to be both. You know what I'm saying? So only the love of God can get at. You know what I'm saying? All right. So here's the next question. Do you see your creativity as a gift, coping mechanism, or both?
Oh, both. Oh, that was a good question. That was good. That was good. Both. It's a gift, and actually, in all of my books, what I try, when I'm doing my acknowledgments and my thank yous, I always, of course, talk about the Most High first and thank the Most High for the gift of being able to write, and being able to have a certain vision and being able to create. But I also know that it's definitely like therapeutic for me and it helps me out. And it keeps me, I don't want to say sane, but maybe I should say sane. It keeps me sane because I'm able to, put this stuff together. And I'm working on so much. When you're writing, you already know as a director, but your thing is much, much more difficult than mine. But when you're writing or directing, you already know. You have to think about what you're saying. You have to think about what you're doing. You have to think about your audience. You have to write things down. And sometimes you're writing things down as far as the books that you may not have shared before. And you're like, whoa, do I want to say this? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say it because you know what? I need to say it. And this is my way of saying it out loud. Speaking of which, I'm gonna say this real quick. And this is a shout out to my book. So this book is a book of poetry and it's called excuse my language, everybody. Your discretion is advised. Some shit I would never say aloud. So this is this book right here.
But next time, keep it clean. Keep it clean. You gotta say
sorry. It. Some it I would not say aloud, but I did. So it's like you gotta. I wouldn't say it, but I said it because it's like sometimes you have to say certain things. Sometimes you have to. What's the word? Sometimes you have to be honest and open, and sometimes people don't get it until you put that stamp on it. It's like sometimes people can't.
Pastor might call it hot. Humble, open, and transparent.
Really? Okay. I'm gonna try to remember. Matter of fact, if you could send it to my inbox.
I got you.
Yeah, because I need it. Sometimes you want to say things and express yourself, and people are, but then if you jam it and you throw that word, like
it might rub people the wrong way.
That word is like, oh, did you have to say that? And I'm like, yeah, because you didn't feel me before I said it. You didn't understand when I was trying to say it. But once I said that, you're like, oh, okay. I guess you really meant what you said and said what you meant. Yeah. So, but forgive me, guys.
Yeah.
So that is that on
that. I love your energy, Nima. I do. I really do. I love when you come on because first of all, you are transparent. You don't mind sharing. You don't mind talking about mental health. And you lived a life that some may not have lived, so these experiences that you share, they can help someone that might be going through something similar, and that's always a good thing. You feel me?
Yeah, my point in a lot of writing and a lot of stuff that I do online, I often say, this may not be for you. What I say may not be for you, but it may be for the person next to you. It may not be for you, but if you duck your head to the side, it may be for the person behind you. This message is for someone. Somebody needs to hear it. And you know what? People say it online. I don't know who needs to hear this. I guess that's my way of saying that because, My thing is to, no matter what, try to help somebody, try to give somebody some information, try to tell somebody what I went through so they don't have to go through it. And that's the counselor in me, because I think once you go through domestic violence training, I've done that all my life, and it sticks with you. So you're always an advocate, no matter what.
Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. All right. So here's my next question. What were some internal battles you faced as a creative young girl trying to find her place?
Being too I want to say rough or rugged, or there's a song. You know what? I have a lot of
Tom girl back in the tomboy.
Oh man, oh man, come on. Was I ever? Let me tell you.
I can't see that.
Oh,
I can't see
cousin,
it.
old cousin. Oh yes.
Tita probably got some stories from me.
Let me tell you, I definitely was a tomboy. I was not a girly girl at all. I became a girly girl when I realized I couldn't play with the boys the way I used to, because I was starting to grow up, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we can't play like that anymore, because now I'm turning into a girl. But I was the girl, spray painting, taking bikes apart on my mom's porch, spray painting them, digging dirt, putting them in the tops, playing, just spinning tops. Come on now, the top with string, bow, crack somebody else's top. I did that. Skating down the street with metal skates on, hanging off the back of one of my friends' bikes, racing up and down the block. I was like, back then, the fastest girl, like in a couple of blocks. And I used to race barefoot on a street. That was my thing, running barefoot. And I just, I got scars. I know about Southwest Philly when I tell you this. I still have a scar on my leg from swimming at Myers swimming pool.
Oh, wow.
And King Session swimming pool. So I know Southwest. I still have a scar because they had it was glass in the pool.
You know them hood pools, y'all. So, it was glass in the hood pool.
Exactly. So
that's why you had to watch how you dive. That's why most people was like, cannonball. And they ain't go straight in, because if you hit the bottom, you might cut your arm up.
Exactly. Yup.
Hood story.
Yeah. So I was definitely tomboy. I was not a girly girl at all. I'm still not really a girly girl. I still like when it rains, I go outside barefoot, play in the mud, play in the rain, all kind of crazy stuff, digging the dirt, because I love digging in dirt. I'm always planting something, or you know what I mean, putting seeds in the ground and with my bare hands. I'm still not a girly girl. The only time I'm a girly girl is when I dress up and go out somewhere.
Yeah. So let me ask you, did you ever struggle, despite your massive body of work, with everything that you've done? What was a struggle that you considered a struggle?
The struggle is being in circles where everyone is doing the same thing. Now it's like, okay, this person writes, I write. Okay, This person writes stories and poetry, I write. This person paint, I paint. This person have shows and platforms, I have shows and platforms. This person is a photographer, because I also do photography. This person is a photographer. So I think the thing is trying to try finding different circles, because everybody, even though I'm one of a kind, I don't care if we're all doing the same thing. Everybody is different in their own way. But when you have everybody in all these different circles doing the same thing, it's hard to make money, because you're buying, okay, I'm buying your books, then you're buying my books. You may as well just exchange books. You know what I mean? You're buying my paintings, I'm buying your paintings. That's why when somebody gives me information, I try to post their information so it can reach a different crowd or a different group.
Different demographic, right?
Right. I think that has been the biggest problem. And also, I have had a few people tell me I don't push my work like I'm a starving artist. And I think that
is a part of it that's key.
Yeah, because I have an everyday job, and I'm like, well, I get it, but I have to keep this job to pay the real bills and to buy the paint and the paint brushes and do this and do that. But and I do think that there's some truth to it. If I was moving like I really, as they say, like I really wanted to eat, you know what I mean? Then I may be, I'm not out on the corners, which I would love to do, but in this day and age, especially in Philly, it's like, but I would love to be out on the corners like back in the day on the strip on 52nd Street, and everybody got a stand, and I'm selling my books and my paintings and this, that, and the third. But
well, it's a little different now because we're in a digital space.
Exactly.
So because we're in a digital space, you can go to places like Fiverr.
But the thing
you know what I'm saying? Go to Fiverr, pay them $5, and they boost your whole joint up by putting all your art everywhere on the social media platforms and make little ads for you and stuff like that. So that way you ain't got to do it yourself.
And there lies the next problem, because I'm old school and I like to do it myself. And you can't have both, but that's my problem. I'm so old school. Like I don't even, when I write, I use a pen and a pad. I don't like typing things in, but I do when I have to. That's just how I am. I want to be out there with the people, which there lies the problem. I want to be out there with the people, talking to them, meeting them, whatever. But, so I'm working on that part.
Yeah. I think it's a way for you to have both of those things that you want, the social media part and getting out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just aligning with a team of people that can help you get to where you need to be for real. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that after the show, but all right. All right. So what does mental freedom mean to you personally?
Oh, wow. That is a great question. And you know what? When people ask a great question and somebody stalls like I just did to repeat what you just said, that lets you know that I'm actually thinking about what you said. That's that little trick that's really not a trick anymore. That's a good question.
I'm trying. I'm getting my little dark skinned Brian Gumble on.
That is good. Oh my gosh. You know what? I hate to do this. You're gonna have to repeat that.
What does mental freedom mean to you personally?
You know what? Oh man, mental freedom to me means like actually being able to discuss what's going on with you without I don't want to say ridicule, but without ridicule. Not being ashamed, not being afraid to talk, which I'm actually not. But I am hesitant to talk to certain people about it, because sometimes you talk to people and they want to try to solve your problems. And it's like, listen, I don't want that. I just need this right here. I need this. I don't need that right now. And, to me, that kind of holds you back a little bit. Mental freedom is just, to me, being able to discuss what's in your heart, what's on your mind without backlash or ridicule, you know what I mean? Or a negative space, that doesn't mean that we have to agree or you have to like what's going on in my head or you have to completely understand it, but just hear me out, being heard and feeling like it's a safe space to talk in. Because let me tell you something, I hear people all the time, especially on social media, say, this is a safe space. This is a safe space. And then the person says something and it's like, well, and then it's like, well, you said it was a safe space.
They don't feel safe.
Was it not? Did you lie? Is it not really a safe space? Like, what's going on? And then you got to deal with the backlash and the ridicule and the shame on you, or this person, we gotta. Oh no, they're dealing with this. We gotta, To me, freedom is not having to deal with all of that, and that doesn't mean you can just walk around and say whatever you want to whoever you want, because you got to be careful.
You still have to be respectful.
Yeah, you
still have to worry about other people's mental and their feelings at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Is there ever a time where we all feel, okay mentally to, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I think especially for people like from where we from, right? Philadelphia is a hard place to come from. You know what I'm saying? Where we come from, we get told early to suck up emotions and all of that. And our parents and their parents didn't grow up in this mental health space. So it's like they didn't know how to deal with emotions of children and things like that. It was just, you better stop crying before I give you something to cry for.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Which makes it harder for, you know, a child to really express what they feel, which is why they find things like art and music to express themselves. And then they be like, I didn't know you could do that. Well,
I
what was going on is what brought this out of me. You know? And then that's a whole nother conversation you got to have with that parent or with your parent or whatnot. But, you know, yeah, having a safe space is very important. So that way you can have a better understanding of a person, a child, friends, all of it. And it all starts with that right there, the safe space. You know what I mean? So I agree with you 1050%.
Thank you.
All right. So, all right, because I want to bounce around a bit.
Okay.
Your work touches on heavy topics like domestic violence. How do you emotionally carry these stories?
As honestly, I carry them as honestly as possible. A lot of things that I write about when it comes to domestic violence comes from experience through family members, experience through friends, experience through myself, you know, and I have to always remind people that domestic violence is not just about the physical aspect of it. It's emotional, you know, it's emotional, physical, financial, psychological, spiritual, all of it.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much, there's so many layers. And, but honestly, talking to people, a lot of the experiences that people have had as I was working in the different domestic violence shelters and things like that, and talking to women, man, and I don't know, years ago, I lost a laptop many years ago, and I did interviews. We had some sisters, some women that actually came on, and they didn't mind talking, and they really, it was literally like, man, wow. Now that everybody's doing documentaries, that's funny. This was before the documentary stuff was popping, but like literally a documentary. I had interviewed about 5 or 6 different women transitioning into the shelters and out of the shelter for domestic violence, and they wanted to do videos and talk to me about it. I had put a soundtrack to it, everything, and I can't believe Anyway, but the point is that to get back to the original, because I started getting emotional. You know, just talking to people and my experience, and you know, different people around me, just writing about it, and you know, trying to figure it out on paper. You know what I mean? And then leaving messages in books like, listen, you don't have to go through this. There is a way, but you know, and just reminding people that you can't force a person to get out of a situation. They have to get out of it when they're ready, and hopefully being ready is not too late.
Yeah, you know, and I want to say this firsthand as a person who saw my mom get abused, you know, by my pop. You know, domestic violence is never cool. It's never cool. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you got to hit on a woman, you less of a man in my book. You know what I'm saying? I've been in situations where I seen men put their hands on women, and then I had to step in, and your cousin was there for it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just something that's near and dear to me. So when I see it, it's like I see red. I'm gonna go. You know what I'm saying?
But,
yeah, you know, it's never cool, and my heart goes out to survivors of domestic violence. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
If you see something, say something, and women, get some help. You know, it's always places that you can go to. It's domestic violence shelters. It's all sorts of help and resources for you if you're going through those things, and go get them. I really think you should. Even if you're listening right now and you're seeing this, whether you're listening or seeing it, go get help. It's
Absolutely.
people that can get you out of that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
And it's not just women, it's men. You know,
Men too.
yeah.
Men too.
Go get that. Go get that help. Get out of
That's
there.
right. That's right. All right. So here's my next question. All right. Did creating a withered rose still blooms take a toll on your mental health?
Oh man.
Oh yeah. I'm going there. I'm here. Listen, my style of question is totally different than the last time you was
Yeah,
a little different.
it did. It really did because that particular book, and that's funny. I actually went with a different publishing company when I did that book. I don't even have that book anymore. I got to get copies, but it definitely did. Like I said, seeing the things that I saw growing up, knowing the people that I knew that went through it and that were going through it at the time, working in that position, it definitely took a toll because I had to stop a couple of times. You know, especially I'm at the table, I'm writing at night. It's like 2 and 3 in the morning, you know, right before you want to go to bed, or actually after you should have been in bed. So all of this is on my mind when I'm going to sleep, you know, and it takes you back because I'm writing about my mother, I'm writing about other people, and I'm just like, wow, you know, and I had to actually call my mother and, you know, tell her that I was writing this. And she's like, I don't mind that you write that. You were there. It's your story to tell. I said, well, it's your story. So, you know, she's always giving me the green light and been very supportive in my writing and my work. She's actually a writer herself. But I reading that stuff, I'm like, wow, like it took me back because I'm looking and I'm like, man, this stuff really happened. And I'm like, and it just makes me have a more stronger, I should say, a stronger appreciation and love for my mother, because at first I was angry and I'm like, how could she allow this to happen? But then when I step back and I look at her situation and how old she was and where she came from and what she had going on, I'm like, I see. Okay, it's starting. The picture is coming into view a little better. So yeah, it was very emotional. And then I thought about, because at the end of each year, when I used to work for the domestic violence place that I worked for, at the end of the year, we would literally have to go through a file and go through names of people that were no longer with us, that, you know, succumbed or whatever to domestic violence. And it was hard as I don't know what. So that made me think of that, you know, and that's why in that book, I always put hotline numbers and ideas and different things like that, and, you know, where you could go and who you can call, and, you know, and I've had shows, actually a lot of different shows on my Thoughts Provoked platform about domestic violence and how to get help, where to get help, you know, different strategies and things like that. So it was definitely personal. It definitely was hard for me, and I actually put that book down quite a few times and worked on a side project while I was working on that. So
yeah, I think that is cool that you decided to do that, you know. So do you plan on doing any projects in the future about domestic violence?
always, but that's going to have to come after I finish my the new book that I'm writing. Yeah, because that's a part of my journey right now, my personal journey. So I'm actually writing that book, and I've been working on that for about a year and a half. And it never takes me that long to write a book, but there's usually so much information that I'm coming up against with this new book. So, but that's going to come after that. I'm actually taking a break right now on the domestic violence level.
I hear that. Hey, listen, we about to take a break.
Okay.
All right, folks, we about to take a break. We'll be right back. And in the meantime, in between time, I got something for y'all to check out. Check it out.
out where this nigga work at. Figure out. Not until you get the information that I need out of him.
Fuck, you know right now you gonna die right here in the valley, nigga. Like I told you. Alright.
Who the fuck was that? Because whoever it was, they knew exactly what time to pull up and why they had to not delayed. He said,
Talk, motherfucker.
Astronauts report it feels good.
Oh man, that is curry. What did I do last night?
Woke up, broken in the motherfucker, looking in the mirror, wanna throw up. Kill a couple butters, spend it, $1 bottom like so what? Don't believe, just watch like a E-line rocket, I'ma go up. Watch me blow up. Woke up, broken in the motherfucker, looking in the mirror, wanna throw up. Kill a couple butters, spend it, $1 bottom like so what? Don't believe, just watch like a E-line rocket, I'ma go up. Watch me blow up. Man, I ain't never been poor, but I might have been broke. With a killer hangover, the vitamin store. Like what I did last night, but now no. Man, I tell you this here, man, I drink no more. Now I smoke no more, and I fuck that whore. But maybe I dare, who that in my bed? Looking like a gram, and it must have been a man. Call an ambulance, I can't feel my leg. Don't feel like walk, didn't see my walk. Gon' see me on floor like a scene I dog. Try to find my shit, and then no time spent. Got 30 minutes, call promoters on my leg. Like money, moolah, be your mommy like a hula. Bust a few maneuvers, now they war, I'ma do it. I'ma do it. Another corner like a hornet, but I'm no longer selling them rocks or E. Locked in engineer, slinging Spotify dreams. Cost 5,000 cents, wanna take my pick. Got a diarrhea, flow talk, constant shit. I'm a ostrich hitch, cause I got a lot of neck. White middle age, when I think around like I'm a net. But I taste like Skittle, what's a little Jacob with a kitty in the middle. Got me spending on my bread. Woke up, broken in the motherfucker, looking in the mirror, wanna throw up. Kill a couple butters, spend it, $1 bottom like so what? Don't believe, just watch like a E-line rocket, I'ma go up. Watch me blow up. Woke up, broken in the motherfucker, looking in the mirror, wanna throw up. Kill a couple butters, spend it, $1 bottom like so what? Don't believe, just watch like a E-line rocket, I'ma go up. Watch me blow up. spend about $1, but I'm like, so what? Don't believe, just watch like a healer. Rocket, I'ma go up. Watch me blow up.
All right, we are back, y'all. Welcome back. The Pot Podcast with Tigmatic. I'm sitting here with my guest, Nima Shining Star L. And we keeping the energy popping. We vibing. We here. And as I always say, WMAB. We moving and booming. All right, we here. All right. So, I had to get, we got a little 5-minute break in, 6-minute break in.
That's all right. That's good. That's good. I was over here politicking.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it gives you a chance to get some water, take a bathroom break, get something to snack on, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? For me, unfortunately, this time it was a bathroom break.
I never moved. I just started. My daughter came through and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm on an interview." She's like, "Oh, okay." So she just sat down. So she just here chilling with me.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's definitely what's up. All right, so let's get into it.
Okay.
Have you ever had moments where you felt like you needed support, but had to be the supporter instead? And what was that like for you?
Okay, so I honestly, I think we all have those moments. So it depends. As an artist, yes, I've had those moments. As a human being, we all have those moments. But artistically speaking, yes, because there were moments where, I felt like I want to add a little extra something, and I really didn't have the opportunity because I'm up at 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, I can't call my team right now. I can't call my manager. I can't call my folks and say, look, this is what I want to do with this. I have to wait. So I'm like, how can I fix this? How can I get rid of this? Or how can I reword this? Or what should I, and, I just had to say, you know what? I'm gonna use my own brain. I'm gonna use my own mind. I'm gonna think on it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna read it a couple of times. I'm gonna cross out some things. I'm gonna compare it to some other stuff that I wrote, and then I'm gonna sit back and let it marinate. And sometimes I let it marinate over a nice glass of Moscato. And normally, and I don't promote drinking, so don't take that as that. But I'm 55 years old. Every once in a while, I have to have a glass of Moscato. And once
I had a drink in almost 2 years.
That's good. That's a blessing. That is come on now. So, and once I did that, I'm like, you know what? All right, let me take a deep breath. This can work. And then sometimes I get down on myself. I'm like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm like, no, yes, I can. And I have to give myself a pep talk, even if I have to go to a mirror, even if I have to put the book and the pen down, turn on some music, turn on the TV. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes when I'm creating, I'll have my television going, my radio going, and I'm on social media. All three of those things. And I have my pen in my hand and I'm writing. So sometimes I have to go into that bag and, be on my lonesome. And then when I come out of that bag, it's like, oh, now I can make this phone call and tap in and check in and make sure this is good, or get advice, or find out if I made the right choice doing this. So, but I think we all have moments, like I said, as artists or just as human beings, where sometimes you have to handle things on your solo dolo, and sometimes they may not be the right move.
Yeah, I understand.
Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, and learning from your mistakes stops you from making them again.
Exactly.
We don't want to do that, especially when we want to progress in life.
Exactly.
So, how has writing helped you process emotional pain or trauma?
You know what? Just writing it out. Just write. Nowadays.
Hey, that's what people still say that.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I feel so peaceful. And I'm like, you know what? I can only be who I am. So there's a, journaling. People promote journaling. Therapists promote journaling. Psychiatrists promote journaling. And actually, writing these books, this is me journaling. So this has helped me quite a bit, to get through a lot of different emotional situations. Like, for instance, I talk about, and I've had shows about it, talking about how I was bullied when I was young, in school for many years, and nobody knew it. Nobody knew it except for those individuals and myself. So writing these things out helped me to process it, helped me to realize when I work with people now with mental health issues and certain things and challenges, I'm like, wow, these people back then actually had serious mental health issues, but we didn't know about that back then. We were young and coming up, and we weren't talking about that kind of stuff back then. But these people that did those things, they actually had mental health issues. Maybe they didn't love themselves. Maybe they were, they say sometimes when people bully people, that's because they're being bullied at home or they've been bullied themselves. So hurt people hurt people. But it's like, okay, we get it. Hurt people, but at what point do you stop? This is just going on forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So writing this process helped me to deal with that and overcome it. And I don't, I no longer want to seek out individuals and say, remember when? Yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
Such and such to me.
I write it out in my book now, and that's it, and I move on. Like I don't even know which book it's in, but I have a piece dedicated to my bullies where I just have a whole conversation with them.
Wow, but what's that like? What was that like for you to even do that, though?
You know what? It was like we just said not too long ago. It was therapeutic. It was
that's awesome.
It was me dealing with my stuff, because that I needed to do that, and I had to write it out, and I wrote it out in such a way that I was like, wow, I wish I could actually say this, to them. And then I think about it like, everybody says that things happen for a reason. I don't know if I really go for that anymore. I used to say, oh, everything happens for a reason. I don't know. Because sometimes I'm like, I don't know why that happened. I don't know why this happened. But I know that when you survive things and you go through things, it does make you stronger. It does help you deal with things, and it helps you become more capable of being productive or, dealing with things in a productive way. But was it necessary? I'm like, was it necessary for me to go through that to be the writer that I am today?
I think so, though, cuz, and I'll say this, I get your point as far as when people say, you go through this for a reason, but the reality is, it was a reason. The reason was to push out the rows that grew in the cement. And the rows was you being a creative. And that's how it is for a lot of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Certain things in our life cause us to be able to express themselves in a way where others can't. You know what I'm saying? And that's all a part of God. You know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, all the people that went through the things that they went through, there was some light at the end of the tunnel. And it meant that they had to go through that darkness to get to the light.
Yeah.
So that expression, there's some truth to it, and I understand the feeling, though, while you're going through it, when you're hearing that expression, you don't really want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for real.
Yeah, like, oh, you're going through this for a reason. Well, what the hell could be the reason that I'm experiencing this pain, this problem? And it can be several things. Like you said earlier, it could be financial, it could be mentally, it could be spiritually, it could be physically. So sometimes we may not understand it, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So we got to go through that darkness to get to it, though.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
All right. So When you're overwhelmed mentally, what form of art do you turn to for first?
Honestly, I turn to writing first because I paint so much that I often run out of paint and paint brushes and canvases. And my pen and my pad is always at hand, whether it's a notebook, a composition notebook, whether it's a letter, a bill, something that comes in the mail. I will take a pen and write on the back of it or a napkin, like just to get my thoughts down until I can, put it together and put it in a book or wherever I need to put it. So definitely, right. I turn to that first. That's the first thing. Writing and talking to myself. Like literally, I don't mind telling you guys this. Literally, I will sit down. People say, "Oh, we all talk to ourselves." As long as you don't answer yourself, that's the problem. Well, I do
As
both.
long as you ain't
So
causing
now
no
what?
harm to yourself,
Right,
that's
I'm not
another
causing any harm,
level.
but I definitely have a back and forth conversation. Like people say, "Oh, you can talk to yourself all day, just don't answer." I'm like, "Okay, but what happens when you answer?" Because I do that as well. I'm like, "Well, Nima, why do we have to go through that?" Because, girl, I'm gonna tell you why you have to go through that. Because what happened was blah 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 blah, and I'm sitting there like, "Oh, that's what you mean, girl? Think about it." Oh, you're right.
Having a whole conversation,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh, please. Stand outside the door, and I'm in there talking. It might not be anybody in there with me. I just may be talking to myself. It's an old song. I don't own the rights to it. I don't own the words or the lyrics. I forgot who said. Wait, no, it's not Albie Shore. Who sing the song? It's like I talk to myself when there is no one to talk to. People
I
like
think that was
why
Cameo.
I do what I. No, that wasn't Cameo.
That was a Cameo?
No. I forgot who it was, but later
I
on
know
I'm
the
gonna look
song.
it
I know the song though. Forgive us, folks.
on the rights.
We
I don't.
have an old head moment. We old
Yes,
heads out here.
yes.
So the younger generation watching,
Yo,
y'all don't know nothing about that there, young blood. You don't know nothing about that.
don't start me. I'm at work sometimes and I'll just bust out singing an old song or an old show tune, and it's like nobody gets it except for the people my age. They're like, "What is that?" And now everybody's walking around singing it. They're like, "I remember that. That was from the Brady Bunch." Like, exactly.
All right. So let's talk about your writing form.
Okay.
How does Nima, because this is not in my questionnaire, by the way, this is straight off the dome. So I'm going to ask you this.
Okay.
What does Nima do first when she decides she wants to come up with a story and put it to the paper? What is the first thing you do?
Honestly, the first thing I do is, I'm not gonna lie, I just start writing. I just think about what I want to write about. Like, for instance, a lot of my stories come from me just sitting on the bus or walking down the street. If I'm walking down the street and I see an abandoned building, I'm going to write a story about it because I know it sounds crazy. I already can see the people that used to live there, even if I didn't know them. If I see an abandoned building, I'm already assuming these are the people that live there. This is what they went through. This is, even when I'm on the bus and I'm driving past certain houses, certain old buildings and stores, I'm like, wow. And I can just make up a story right out the gate. It all depends on what's on my mind. Like for instance, couple days ago, I think I was standing in my doorway and I was just looking at the moon, and I just started in my head. I was just like, this was the night when people thought nothing could go wrong. The stars are out, the moon is shining bright, everyone is getting along, but there's a certain air to the air on this night. On this night, something would definitely go wrong. I mean, like, I just start talking to myself in my head, and then I run to the table and I'm jotting it down. And I'm like, I didn't mean to write a ghost story. I didn't mean to write a horror story. Let me tell you, I actually started writing a story, maybe about 10 years ago. And you should never, please don't ever do this. If you're a writer, no matter what you're writing, don't ever, throw your work away.
Ever.
You can put it
That
away
go
and
for
come back
music
to
too,
it.
y'all.
Music, whatever.
You
If
can
it's your
take parts
thought.
of an old song that you never used and put it
Yeah.
into something new with a
Yes.
new sound.
Yes.
I do that sometimes too.
Don't
I got a
ever
whole bunch of songs people never heard, but I got some songs with old verses that I never put out and put it to the new sound and just tweak it a bit. You can do that a lot.
Don't ever throw it away. I started writing a story and literally scared myself and tossed it in the trash. This is about 10 years ago, but it's still in my mind. I'm not going to write it because I figure if it scared me, I don't need to write it. But yeah, and I just got that from walking. And let me tell you how crazy this is. I literally was writing a story. I was doing a training, working in domestic violence. We had to do, lots of training and blah, blah, blah. So I'm doing training. And we walked, some of the women and I, we walked to a store to get something to eat. And I'm walking down this particular street and I'm looking at the cobblestone street. And I'm just like, wow. And I'm looking at some abandoned houses. And I'm like, man. And I just start writing a story. This is no lie.
Let me ask you though.
Go ahead.
When you writing this story, are you old school writing on with the pen and the pad, or are you writing in the phone? You don't write in the phone at all?
I do write in the phone, but not the way you think I should. I don't write in the notebook. I don't write in the notes. I usually will write myself an email, and I'll write it in the email and send it to myself. But I'm pen and pad all the way. So I literally start writing this story, and I'm going to give it to you because as I'm writing the story, I call my mother and I tell her about the story, and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Where did you get that from?" I said, "I just made it up just today." She's like, "Oh my God." I said, "What?" She's like, "That's who I was." I said, "What do you mean?" So the story was called The Little Girl in the Window. So hopefully y'all don't take it, but if you do, it's free. There you go. It's yours. It was called The Little Girl in the Window, and it was about a little girl who would sit in the window all the time just watching life go by. She lived in a big giant house on a street, and and she would watch people, and she didn't have anybody to play with, and blah blah blah. And I did put it in one of my books, but I chopped it down some. And then one day, this lady comes and she's talking to the little girl through the window, and the little girl accidentally she's falling. She falls out of the window from the third floor, and so the lady that she talked to out the window, she runs across the street.
Does she die? Because that's a long fall.
She did not, because she wasn't really there. She was a ghost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but the point was, it was really like the way I was writing it, it just got really scary for me. I was like, and my mother was like, "Why did you write that story?" Because that was me. I was a little girl in a window living with my grandmother in a big giant house. And and I would always sit in the window and talk to the people walking by. I'm like, what? So anyway, so the point is that I make up stories. Whatever pops in my head, I'm writing it down, piece of paper in my head first, and a piece of paper, and I'm off to the races. But I very seldomly put it down in my phone unless I'm writing an email to myself.
Oh man, that's cool though. As long as you can get it and then transfer it to where you need to, that's always cool.
Yep.
So, have you ever experienced like creative burnout? And if so, how does that impact your mental health?
You know what? It doesn't really impact my mental health because I always have another outlet or something else to go to. Or I'm very busy, between proms for my granddaughter, my daughter's different birthday parties and graduations. And there's always something going on, a party for my grandmother, my son. It's just, my son getting married. It's always something going on to keep me busy and to keep me occupied. But I have got burned out a couple times, hit a brick wall, I should say a couple times, a creative brick wall, because where you're doing so much at one time and it's flowing, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody puts on the brakes. Yeah, a block or puts on the brakes. You're like, wait, what's happening? What? You're picking up the pen, you're getting frustrated because nothing is coming out. And it has to be organic. You can't force yourself to write. You can't force yourself to paint. It's not going to work. You know, you have to let it come out when it's ready to come out. It has to flow.
Yeah.
So I hit a wall quite a few times, but I just put it to the side and start doing something else. And by the time I get immersed or submerged into something else, I'm back to the races.
Yeah, that's dope though. That's definitely dope to have many outlets and channels. You know,
it can be exhausting though.
So, but what does rest look like for you? You know, how does Nima, what does she do on her off time when she's not creating? What do you do that you enjoy most? What is that?
There are a number of things. For starters, being with my mate. That right there is like
top of the daylight creme.
You know, it all depends on what day of the week it is. You know, it's talking to my children on the phone and listening to them and their days, and just, you know, I love the fact that my daughter, my oldest, well, all of my children are grown, but my oldest daughter, when I talk to her now, it's more like, girl, let me tell you, girl, guess what? You know, and I love that. You know what I mean? Like, yes, that's my daughter, but that's my best friend. So, you know, we have those conversations. And that is my woosah time. That is my time to de-escalate and take it down and relax and listen to her. Or when we're together and just laughing and joking for no reason, you know, we do a lot of that. You know, just getting together, laughing, joking, ordering some food, you know, whatever, you know, singing karaoke off key. You know what I mean? That's what I love that. And those are some of the moments, you know what I mean, that you just, and that's good. I always say that's the good life. People think you have to have millions of dollars to do. Don't get me wrong, money is great. But, you know, don't it buys a lot of stuff.
Riches that make a good life.
Right. But to me,
and having a family and people that care about you is a rich life.
Yes, and everybody, especially as a parent and a grandparent or a spouse, when everybody is exactly where they need to be at that time, and you can lay your eyes on everybody. Because I'm still that kind of mother. Like, I don't care. My oldest daughter will be 41 in July. Sorry, boo boo.
Hold up. Hold up. I feel your pain, love. She gave you a mommy moment.
So I'm still that mom, like, you know, when I come and visit, I still want to put the covers over them and check on them and crack the door open and call their name and sort of say, huh, what? Okay, I'm just checking. You know, that's me. And I love those moments. Those are the best moments when you can talk to each one of them right there and they get ready to go to bed. Nobody's out. Nobody's driving around. Nobody's at work. Everybody's in the same place at one time, laughing, joking, or eating. So you don't have to have a party. To me, that's like, that's like the best of the best of the best.
Yeah, that's dope.
So that's when I have my time, my downtime, my quiet time. Yes, I'm relaxed.
Yes. All right. So here's the next one. You know, this is exactly why I wanted you on the show. You know, you're very transparent. You give open dialogue, and you have great energy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Look at my host. Look at my host. Family host. You know what I mean? Listen, you're asking all the right questions, and you got me thinking like, wait a minute, you might have to repeat that one. What? Wait a minute, what did he just say? Okay. So this is good. I love this.
All right. So here's the next one. How do you decompress after tapping into so much deep and painful subject matter?
Music and food.
Okay.
Music and food.
That's me. Yeah. I'm right with you on that one.
Yeah, I'm oldies all the way, so I'll throw on some oldies and you know.
What's your favorite oldie song?
Oh man, it's too many. It's too many it's too many. But I have some good ones. I mean, like for instance, I'm not gonna lie, Heat Wave Always and Forever is one of them. Yeah. 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 No, wrong. No, Heat Wave, the group, always and forever.
Oh, I
Not
thought you was
Unreasonable.
talking about the
No,
song.
not them. Not. It's like a heat wave burning in my. No, I'm talking about always, never, ever. That one is full.
Okay.
But man, it's too many. Like I love soundtracks. Like for instance, one of my favorite soundtracks is Gladys Knight and the Pips from the movie Claudine. Man, do you know that movie? That's one of my favorite movies, Claudine.
I'm not sure. I might have seen it. You know, I done
Yo,
seen so many movies
I
now.
don't care. I
I
don't
don't
care.
remember it until I see it. And then, you know, I got memory loss from what happened to me.
Right.
So
Well,
I won't remember it until I
that's
see
all right.
it.
But put it on your list. I'm gonna give you that to put on your list, Claudine.
Mhm.
That soundtrack is crazy. I love it. Gladys Knight and the Pips, but it's with James Earl Jones and Diane Carroll. And it's about a mom with 6 or 7 children. She falls in love with James Earl Jones, who works for the sanitation department, and he marries her. But just the trials and tribulations that a single mother goes through trying to raise Black children in a neighborhood where the neighborhood is really against them. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Lawrence Hilton Jacob plays in that movie. But anyway, yeah, I'm
I'll
a
check
movie
it
buff.
out.
But it's too many oldies to name. But I love a good soundtrack, movie soundtrack. I love the Sparkle soundtrack, but the original with Aretha Franklin. So anything Aretha Franklin is at the top of the list. Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight and the Pips, Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, The Future, the Ebonies, all of that. It's like, come on, man. It's too many to name.
Okay. So how do you separate your personal pain from your art, or do you?
I don't. It all comes out. That's why I often say, if you want to know anything about me, pick up one of my books. Everything is in there.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
This is a transparent person, y'all.
Very.
We need more Nimas in the world.
Some people say
You
a
know
little
what I
too
mean?
much, but some people say
that's
too
fire.
much. But my grandmother has always told me, like, she has this saying. I never used to like it, but I understand it, and she always say, "Can't nobody tell it like I can tell it." So I'm not giving somebody else the opportunity to tell my story. My story is told. Pick up a book, pick up all of them. You'll know everything you need to know about me, and then some. And if not, it's your loss.
Hey, straight like that.
Straight
It's
like
your
that.
loss if you don't get it. But we want you to get it. I'm gonna say that. And I mean, I'm saying that for my cousin. Go get them books. Go get that art. Pick it up. Enjoy it and learn something. You dig?
Absolutely.
Straight like that. I'm gonna be the radio guy for a second. Let me get my sounds going. Hold up. Hold up. What you doing? You gotta go out there and go get them books. Nimagirlproductions. If you ain't doing it, what you doing? Straight like that. Straight from Matic Man. All right, that's enough.
That was good.
All right, keep going.
That was good. Kind of almost reminded me of that commercial where they be talking about Top Dog Lawyer.
All right. So what role does silence or solitude play in your mental wellness and creativity?
Wow. You know what? I don't like it.
You gotta have music or something.
Yeah, I have to have music. I have to have TV. I have to have conversation. I have to have, like I said, there's a lot of conversation going on up here. So I gotta have all of that. The only time I appreciate silence is when I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
it.
one of them ones that need some sound going to sleep, so I feel you.
You know what? I do that as well, but that's the only time where I really, I appreciate silence. I'm like, I don't really like silence. To me, silence is the unknown, and I don't like the unknown.
Yeah, I can understand that. I have my moments where I like silence. When I have those moments, I'm deep in thought deep in prayer, or I'm about to write something. I like when I'm writing my bars, I need silence. I don't write to the beat. You know, and the reason I don't write to the beat is because once I get the beat, then I might have to pick a cadence that everybody else using, and I don't want to do that. If I gotta pick, if I got a specific beat, and that moment is where I'll really like black out, go somewhere, go in a corner somewhere, pick that phone up and just start writing in the phone and go crazy. And I just started doing that because for a lot of years I just freestyled a lot. You know what I'm saying? My songs still made sense though. Not the freestyling where it don't make sense, but
I get it. I totally get that.
Yeah, and me and Bullet being in the same group, that's family too. So, it was crazy for me. Who would have known that one of my closest friends will be my family years later?
Man, that is crazy. I thought about that too. I was like, wait a minute, that's my cousin. Wait a minute. Like, okay. Like, cousin on this and cousin on that. And all right now. It works. And y'all put some fire. Y'all put some fire together.
Yeah, we made a lot of fire together.
Yeah, I know. I heard quite a bit of it. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And I didn't hear it till some years later. And I still was like, this is crazy.
Wait till you hear the stuff that's in the vault, like the old stuff, like 2003, 2002, like 99. Like, that's the real archive music. Ask them about the Lions and Pops.
I need to hear
about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I enjoyed that time, but enough about me.
Hey, man, it's all good because this is you right here. So it gotta be.
Right. All right, so here we go. Creating Love Thy Brother Day is powerful. I love it. I like it. I ain't gonna front. I like that you created. How does carrying that responsibility impact your mental health?
Oh, you know what? Here you go again with the question. You know what? It definitely it's something. First of all, very near and dear to my heart. Creating that holiday, and I think it was necessary. It was definitely necessary, and it goes along with the book. Peace King, can you hear me? But the holiday, you have so many holidays out here. Every time you turn around, there's a new holiday on the calendar. And I said, you know what? We don't have enough holidays for Black men. We don't have enough holidays for African-American men. We don't have enough holidays for Asiatic men, melanated men, whatever fits you, whatever you want to say that makes you feel comfortable. There's not enough holidays to show love and appreciation. And we need that. Yes, there are a lot, just like women, there are a lot of people out here that people may feel undeserving of certain things. They may be doing this, doing that, blah, blah, blah. But there are so many that are doing the right thing, that are doing good things, that are helping, that are showing love, that are taking care of their families, that are doing whatever they can when they can. And we need that. We needed that representation to say, look, we see you, we feel you, we hear you. We don't want to stand behind you. We want to stand with you. You're not in this fight alone. We feel your pain. We might not feel it physically, but we feel it emotionally. And that actually, it impacted me, but it impacted me in a good way because I felt like this is what we needed. But having so many men in my family and having so many men that I know that are doing great things, doing positive things, taking care of their family, being role models, helping people out, supporting people, and everybody doing what they can on the level that they can do it, because everybody can't do it up to this point. You meet people where they stand, and there are so many people that need to be acknowledged as far as men that I know. And I'm like, nah, we need this holiday and we need to show love. And I said, I don't want to say love thy brother. I said, because I'm not talking about brothers all around the world. I'm talking about brothers, melanated brothers. That's why it's called brother instead of brother. And I'm like, we need that. We need that. And I wanted to say, like, from a sister to a brother, like this is what we're saying. We're saying we see you, we need you, we appreciate you. We cannot, no matter what we're doing in life, we cannot do this without you. Even if you don't have your husband at home, you may have your grandfather, your uncle, your fiance, your cousins, your homies down the street, the stepfather or the father that stepped in, the second, whatever it is, whoever it is, that individual, we want to say thank you. And so every year what I try to do is I try to either do something online or I try to do something in person. Now, there was a time where one of my girlfriends and I, we used to drive around and pick certain locations and we used to drop off different donations and stuff like that. And of course, with the way of the world, you're like, okay, we might have to do things a little differently. So what I started doing is doing it online. When I was doing co-hosted Big Woo Radio, we would invite people on and, it would be all about the men and they would do poetry and sing and talk to one another and talk about what they were doing in their neighborhoods to better their neighborhoods and make positive impacts on their family and in their, in their line of work. So it definitely took a toll, but it was in a good way. Now, the flip side of that is that because I haven't gone through the proper process to get it, go to the powers that be or City Hall, whatever, to get this thing, put on the map, it hasn't picked up like I wanted it to pick up, but that's okay because I'm still working on it. You know what I mean? Because once you get certain people involved, I feel like it no longer becomes your thing. It's no longer something that you're baby.
It becomes something bigger.
And bigger is great, but bigger in what way? Because now I don't want it to become something where people have to put
pay
money
for it,
right, or they can't be a part of this and a part of that. No, I don't want that. That's not what this is about. You don't show appreciation to people by asking them to pay for something or telling them, well, we're selling tickets to this right here. And if you don't buy a ticket, well, what about the people that don't have a job? What about people that don't have money? What about people that can't afford it? You know what I mean? So
that's why I appreciate nonprofits and things like that. I have a nonprofit as well now, but that's why I do it. That's why I do it. The nonprofits is to help those that can't help themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you want to do things for people that don't require money. Like, these things don't require money. It's just something simple as helping somebody else and you not benefiting from it. And a lot of people, like you talking about, a lot of people do that. They do things to benefit and it's not from here. You got to do it from here. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's important. That's important. I agree with you so much on that. That's something that's really to my heart. You know what I'm saying? Really trying to help people is important because that's what we really supposed to be doing. So Love Thy Brother is something that I feel as though should be big, like you said, big in what way? Big in the way where it's helping somebody for real.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's June 8th, so you can't forget it. It's in the same month as Father's Day, and I did that on purpose. I said, you know what, June 8th? I said, Father's Day is, coming up in June. If you think about it, that's the perfect time. So when you're thinking about what can I do for my father? What can I do for my husband? What can I do for my brother? Whatever. I have given away books. I've given away clothes. I've given, different things. I'm like, listen, whatever business you got, I'll promote it on my pages for a little. I've done that. Any way you can help. I'm just like, this is how you show love. Or you could just do a show. I've done shows where I only talk about the artists, the Black male artists or the authors or people that, whatever business they have, I'm talking about it. I'm promoting it to the best of my ability. I'm sending people to their pages. And I'm like, listen, we all can do something when it comes to helping the Black man for Love Thy Brother Day on June 8th.
March 8th. What you doing? If you ain't showing love to your brother on June 8th, I said March. My bad. June 8th. If you ain't showing love, what you doing? Get right or get left. Love Thy Brother. You heard? Nima said so. I said so. We here. And that's enough on that, but we gonna keep it real with y'all. Love our brother.
Absolutely.
All right. So, do you believe? No, I asked you that. How do you avoid absorbing the pain of the people and stories you represent?
You know
How do
what?
you avoid that?
I do. Honestly, I've been able to avoid all of it except for the book Withered Rose Still Blooms, the domestic violence book. Everything else I've been okay with, because I know I have gotten to the point where I know these are characters in my book. These are pieces and experiences that I've already gone through. So I've dealt with them and they're done and over with. You know what I mean? So the only writing that I actually, that book right there, the domestic violence book, that book right there, that's the only one that I actually, I still have difficulty with, because once I read it, I can see it. You know what I mean? I can visualize it, and it takes me right back there to that spot in that space. But that's the only one. The rest of them, I'm okay with. My work, I'm okay with separating myself and doing that, and then, you know what I mean? So.
All right. Hey, there's some transparency going. This the transparency train today. I'm feeling it.
The transparency train.
I'm feeling it. This the transparency train today. And I think I'm about to copyright that. I'm about to put it on a t-shirt.
There you go.
I'm about to put transparency train on a t-shirt. I'm serious too.
Yeah.
You gonna see it. It's gonna be
I believe
you.
I believe you. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah. All right. So we got a few minutes. I got 2 more questions for you.
All right. Let's have it. I'm ready.
What have you learned about the mental health struggles of Black men through your work?
I've learned that, unfortunately, we're still at the point where we as a community, and when I say community, I mean Black people, we have not, Black men, we have not, I don't want to say we have not acknowledged. I think more and more now, every day, we're opening up more and more and having these conversations, but we need to continue. And I think that as far as Black men, there needs to be, and I'm not speaking as a Black man, because that would be like, you know what I mean? Like a Black man speaking for a Black woman. But I'm saying, seeing what I see and knowing the people that I know, I believe that we need to have more safe spaces, real legit safe spaces, not just in name only, but legit safe spaces where people can talk and open up and not be ridiculed. But I also feel like, there has always been that space for other ethnicities, but not for us. There's always been that cloud or that label. People are afraid of labels. And here's the thing. Everything has a label, whether you like it or not. Everything has a label, whether you like it or not. Being a wife, that's a label. Being a husband, being a fiance, being a teacher, whatever you're acting, that's a label. And people are so, busy of, I don't want to be labeled. And I get it. You don't want to have this invisible tag on you that says this person has mental challenges and blocks and obstacles. But that's what it is. We need to deal with that. And I think we need to have more forums. We need to have more realistic forums. And listen, I can't get into a conversation about medicine versus non-medicine, but I think that in a lot of communities, people are quick to push medication. I think there has to be real legit therapy. And if and when somebody needs medication, if that's the case, then so be it. But don't be afraid if you need it. But if you don't, there's a process. Talk about it. Open up. Talk to somebody. Get some help. Don't just assume, like they said back in the day, like, oh, real men don't cry. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
That's the lie we was told. That's the lie we was
Somebody
told.
told us that lie.
And
Real
then
men
until
cry.
you go through real problems, real situations, and real things.
Exactly.
And to piggyback on what you said, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Therapy is definitely important.
Yeah.
I do it. So, you know what I'm saying? Listen, without therapy, sometimes you need to vent to somebody that's not actually around you
right
24/7.
Right.
And it helps you cope with things in a different light.
Right.
So that's true. You know what I'm saying? It's true. You know what I mean? So I agree with you 1000% there. All right. Anything you want to say before we dip?
I was going to say, they flagging me in the back. I was going to say, before I dip, yes, I just want to do this real quick. Go to Amazon. Grab these books. Go to Amazon.com. Grab these books. Or hit me up directly and grab these books. Again, I have 17 books and they touch on all genres. This is my latest book right here, Cognac and Cotton Candy. Here's the cognac. Here's cognac and cotton candy. Go to Amazon.com, get the book, or you can hit my inbox. Give me your information and I'll make sure my manager sends you a copy, autographed copy. But get the book. You won't be sorry. I call it Cognac and Cotton Candy because sometimes it can be a hard pill to swallow. You know what I mean? It might go down hard, but rough, but it might, open you up a little bit. And the cotton candy is a little more, as I say, the softer side, but it's not too much of the cotton candy. So it definitely has some nice pieces in here. You won't be sorry. Get at me. I want to give a shout out to my children, my grands, my family, to you. Okay? Tigmatic. Okay? The podcast. Come on, y'all. I appreciate you guys having me here. I appreciate the interview. Thank you so much. Shout out to my management team, squad, boyfriend. Yo, he's working. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, I'm busy. Get at me.
All right. As always, Nima, you already know, cuz it's great to have you. It's great to have that energy, that transparency. Thank you for being a part of this episode and bringing some light to the people. I hope y'all smiling today watching this episode. LinkedIn world, YouTube world, the Phase 105.7, Hollywood TV, Hollywood Radio, Dollar Radio, Going In Radio. I hope y'all enjoyed it today. This was a great episode. And listen, I got one more last question.
Yes.
If it's one thing life has taught you, what is that and why?
Be real, be transparent to the best of your ability, because guess what? Either way, they're going to find out. Tell your own story. Don't let them tell it.
That's right. All right. Nima, it was great having you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you.
All right. All right. Peace.
Peace.
Folks, I hope y'all enjoyed this episode today. We got it booming as always. So, if you're not on Facebook watching, as always, you can catch it on YouTube. I'm almost at 100,000 views, y'all, on YouTube. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for supporting me, watching. And, I'm going to keep bringing more content to y'all. Also, y'all seen the trailer. Chestnut Checkers. That's not the official trailer. That's the pre-trailer. The real trailer from the real people who do editing and stuff like that. That trailer's coming to y'all soon. That trailer was done by your boy. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to do something myself real quick. I hope y'all enjoyed it. But it's going to be very suspenseful. It's a lot going on. And it's a dope cast, dope team, directed by Siberia Singletary and your boy. So we here. We moving and booming. Tigmatic, the podcast. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. Put God first. Love on your loved ones. And have a great night. Peace.
in to the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic.
What's up, y'all? Tune into the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic.
Radio for the Pop Podcast with your boy Tigmatic. Interview.
Pop Podcast, stirring the pot.
So tune into the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic on Caliwood TV.
Tune in to the Pop Podcast, my boy Tigmatic.
And going on radio. You might get some good music and some knowledge.